welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, I'm going to be going over everything I spent for the third week in February. It's February 15th through the 21st, so I'm going to go ahead and write that up here. We did some spending, but not terribly much, which is nice. We did some eating out this week, which we were already kind of over our eating out budget, but I had mentioned in my weekly check-in last week that I was probably going to continue to eat out even though we were already over budget. What put us over budget was a memorial dinner for my sister who we lost earlier this month, and it wasn't something I was expecting. And technically, a lot of you mentioned that it should be a separate transaction. That I should take anything kind of surrounding that and put it in its own little like unbudgeted category so that I can get a feel for how much I spent overall for the month. Obviously that's not something that happens all the time, so I think I'm going to actually probably do that when I go in at the end of the month and kind of do my monthly wrap up. I will take into account those things, and you know, if I take those things out and I'm still over budget in eating out, then that's a true representation. But if I'm not, then, you know, that's also still a true representation. So anyways, enough yammering. Let me just go ahead and start writing things in my expense tracker here. This is a worksheet from my Etsy shop. It is available. I will have it linked down below, as well as a coupon code that'll get you 15% off anything you purchase in my Etsy shop. I have a ton of budget printables available for you to choose from there. It's a really handy resource if you are just getting started with your budget journey. So enough with the sales pitch. Let's just go ahead and start writing things in, starting with the transactions that happened on the 15th. So as I mentioned, we did do some eating out. We ordered some food from Jet's Pizza. And so the category there is eating out. And the amount we spent was $50. That included the tip for the delivery driver. And that was really, really delicious. We really enjoyed that meal. All right. So other than that, on the 15th, we didn't have any more spending. We also didn't have any spending on the 16th, which is awesome. So moving on to the 17th. I went ahead and paid all of our bills for the week, so Planet Fitness. I was so excited, you guys. I actually got to the gym for the first time in I don't even know how long today. So making use of this membership finally. The category is bills, and the amount of that withdrawal was $10. I also went ahead and made all the minimum payments on our credit cards this day. So for Chase, category for all of these is going to be bills. For Chase, we paid $70, which was the minimum payment. We also made our minimum payment for our Ashley furniture, and that amount was, let me just check my account here, $156. Then I made my minimum payment for my First Merchants Bank card. Category here is bills as well, and that was $58. Also this day we paid the minimum payment on my Citi card, which was just $35. And then that was it for the 17th. We had no spending on the 18th, at least no spending from our variable expenses. We did do some spending this week in our sinking funds, which I will fill that transaction log in once I finish up here. But in terms of our like variable categories, there was no spending on the 18th. So on the 19th, and actually the 17th is going to be considered a no spend day as well, because I don't count my bills as spending. I use my little no spend stickers on my calendar to keep track of our variable categories. So on the 19th, we had Audible come out. This is my husband's audiobook subscription, so this is also considered a bill. and this was $22.95. Okay, and then on the 19th we did our grocery shopping. I did post a grocery haul. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I will link it in a card above if I remember. So from Meijer we spent, the category is grocery. And from Meijer we spent $95.68. And then for Walmart, we actually used some rewards that we had on our Walmart card to cover some of this transaction, but the amount that we paid in cash for grocery was $38. I think the total was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 65 or 70, and then we used our points and just paid the difference. So that was that. Also on the 19th, we went and got gas at Murphy, which is the gas station connected to Walmart. We have a Walmart Plus membership, so we do get a little bit of a discount on gas, which helps us out a ton. So this category is gas, and the amount that it took to fill our tank was $41. All right, moving on to the 20th, we did some more eating out. We went to our favorite little local diner for breakfast this day, and so that amount was $33.84. And then lastly, I have an unbudgeted expense. I joined back up with Weight Watchers yesterday. Wasn't planning on doing that. I stepped on the scale, saw my weight, and sort of panicked about how high it had gotten, and immediately went and signed up for Weight Watchers. So this was unbudgeted. I did not plan to do this. I probably could have pulled it out of like a miscellaneous category or whatever, but it's just $10, so it's fine. And that is everything that we spent in terms of variable expenses this week. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out all of my, I did it again, you guys. I forgot to write in how much we pulled out in cash. So we did pull out cash for our spending. Myself, my husband, and my youngest son all get spending money. We pull it out in cash at the start of the week. I don't really keep track of it in terms of like what's spent and what's still in my wallet, but we did pull this out of the bank account, so I need to account for it. So for spending, it was $40 for my husband, $40 for myself, and $20 for Austin, for a total of $100. All right, now that's really everything. And one of these days, I'm going to get used to the idea of putting that in first and foremost. But for now, I'm going to pull out all of my highlighters for my color coding, and we're going to go ahead and get these things sorted out. So we're going to start with eating out, which is this yellow color. I went ahead and added labels to all of my mild liners to make it really easy. So for eating out, we had this transaction here for Jets, and then we also had this transaction here. So our total for eating out then, let me grab my calculator. We had 50 plus 33.84 for a total of 83.84 for eating out this week. That's pretty high, but you know, I'm not beating myself up over it. It's been a rough month. So 83.84 total for eating out. Next, we'll go ahead and do bills, which all get highlighted in this blue color. And since I always sit down and kind of pay all my bills all at once for the most part, they all get lumped in here. I'm just going to highlight them all, and then I'll go back and add them in because there was a lot of bill paying this week. Okay, so for bills then, was that it? Is that everything? I think so. So we had 10. I don't know if you guys can see my calculator or not. My apologies if you cannot. Plus 70, plus 156, plus 58, plus 35, plus 22.95 is $351.95 in bills this week. Not too shabby. Alrighty. Next up then we have grocery, which I highlight in this gold color. So for groceries we had Meijer and we had Walmart. And that total was $95.68 plus 38 is $133.68 for grocery. Alright, then we have gas, which I highlight in pink. We had just one transaction here. Whoa. I'm terrible at trying to highlight in a straight line, or do anything in a straight line, really. So for gas, we spent $41. For spending, I'm going to highlight it using my purple one here, which we know was $100. And I know I did this out of order, but that's because I forgot to pull out my red highlighter for unbudgeted. So spending was $100. And lastly then, I'm going to do my unbudgeted expense. So I just need to find what I did with my red highlighter. I had it tucked away in a drawer because I haven't had unbudgeted expenses in so long that I haven't used it. So now I'll put it with the rest of the ones that I use for budgeting. So for unbudgeted, we said it was $10. So really quickly, I'm just going to get a total. So $83.84 plus $351.95 plus $133.68 plus 41 plus 100 plus 10 is a total of $720 with 47 cents. Really quickly, I'm just going to add those up again. Yep, that's accurate. All right. So that is it then for my expense tracking. That's everything in terms of variable expenses, but I did have some spending in my sinking funds that I want to make sure that I write in as well. So I'm just flipping to my transaction log. This is another one of those printables that's available on my Etsy shop, and I'm just going to really quickly put these in. So on 2/16, we used our subscriptions sinking fund, and the amount that we spent was $9.99. My husband signed up for Peacock. It was something specific that he wanted to watch on that service. I don't think we're going to be keeping it long term. I think it was just like a 1-month thing, and we're going to cancel it right away. If we decide to keep it, it'll go into my bills section for next month, but for now, we just pulled it out of our subscriptions. On the 17th, we went to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription, and we had to pay $10.51. On the 19th, we got an oil change, and so that came out of our car maintenance fund. And the amount there was $84.57. We had to get a new air filter and that sort of thing, so it brought up the price a little bit. And that, as I said, was for an oil change. Also on the 19th, from my car maintenance fund, we're going to take $10 for a car wash. On the 19th again, we did an Old Navy order. So this fund is going to be clothing. And I'm not even sure how much is in our clothing fund. So we might go negative in our clothing fund, which is fine. We spent $63.57. They were having their annual like 50% off all their jeans sale. So I bought some for my son Robbie and for myself. So that amount was $63.57, as I mentioned, and I'm just gonna leave myself a little note here that that was for Old Navy. And then on the 20th, also from our clothing sinking fund, I bought Austin some new hooded sweatshirts and spent $29.19 for those. So that was everything for our transactions for the last week for our sinking funds. So that's all set. Now the only thing I have left to do is flip to my calendar and put in my no spend stickers. So I do have my no spend stickers from 307 Design Studio, and I'm going to look really quickly back at my expense tracker and figure out which days I get to put those in. So let's see here. Alright, so we had spending on the 15th, but nothing on the 16th, 17th, or 18th. 17, 18, and then we did have spending on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So we get to put no spends on 16th, 17th, and 18th. Right? Right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will have these stickers linked down below. They are from 307 Design Studio, as I mentioned, and they've got the cutest stickers there. So super psyched to be able to put down even more no spends. So exciting. And it's been a pretty good week overall, you guys. We're almost done with February already, which is wild to me. We have just 1 week left, so I will see you guys back here in a day or two with my weekly check-in for week 3, so I can tell you guys how well we did overall with our budget. Essentially take all of those expenses that I just put in here in my expense tracker and plug them into my hybrid budget. So that will be in a video coming soon. And then next week, make sure you guys come back. We will do my week 4 expenses and check-in, and then we will close out the month of February, and we'll be getting revved up for March. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it short and sweet for you. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, and I will see you then. Bye, friends.